This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of the top 3 NASCAR series, run them through the N ratings algorithm, set them up by their provisional lineup, and see what the computer says will be the finishing order on race day. At the end of 100 laps in Xfinity, it was still Ty Gibbs able to come away with the victory. Bailey Curry ends up in second place. Daniel Hemrick, Josh Berry, and John Hunter Nemechek rounding out the top 5. But a great run for the 4 car. AJ Allmendinger scored points in both stages, but will end up in 28th position. Sam Mayer, last car on the lead lap, in 34th, unable to keep up with the pack. Everyone in the race able to cross the start-finish line. And now it is time for the Cup event. It is the regular season finale. There are 2 playoff spots up for grabs after Kurt Busch has withdrawn his waiver. We'll get into that in a few moments, but now the green flag is out here at Daytona. They continue to run side by side. Chase Elliott getting a little bit further out. Maybe we'll be able to cut in front of his teammate. Although they had a little bit of an issue at Watkins Glen. A 4-wide situation here. Christopher Bell gets pushed below the yellow line. Going into turn 1, a tight situation, and they crash into the front of the field. Bell's around, so is Logano. Bowman up in the wall. Ryan Blaney involved. That's big for the point situation. And several other cars collected. But we saw the 12 car involved in that accident. He has a buffer over Truex Jr., but the 19 car looks like he escaped from that accident. If he's able to earn some stage points, that could eliminate that gap quickly. Ryan Blaney is still in the event. 5 drivers, however, have dropped out, including Justin Haley and Brad Keselowski, 2 drivers that had to win their way in and are really good at super speedways. They're not going to make their playoffs this year. Austin Cindric, by way of that victory at the Daytona 500, has the best average finish here. He is mired in this field right now. Denny Hamlin, a 3-time winner in the Daytona 500, is not in this pack. He has fallen back, and he is running along with Alex Bowman and Bell. We saw the 20 car involved. I'm sure the 11 car got involved somewhere in there. Kevin Harvick, 11 top 5s here. He is still up here with the pack at the moment. His situation in the playoffs was dire until he grabbed a couple of victories a few weeks ago. We come to the end of Stage 1. It is Austin Cindric taking the stage, followed by Larson, Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, and Daniel Suarez. Wallace, the only Toyota up there, as I saw 3 Hendrick drivers and 2 Petty GMS drivers up there earning stage points. Truex Jr. did not get stage points that time around, but he is still in this pack, as you can see right here next to Kyle Busch. 10 top 10s at this racetrack. The victory at Bristol Dirt puts him into the playoffs. If he hadn't gotten that victory, and Kurt Busch perhaps was still eligible for this playoffs, he might have been the driver that was in trouble. But at the moment, he is in. Joey Logano looks like he is a bit banged up as he is running further back in the field. A look at the results from the last Cup race that took place at Watkins Glen. Kyle Larson got a little bit rough with Chase Elliott going down in the first corner. Driver of the 9 wasn't particularly pleased with that move, but ultimately, Larson grabs his 2nd win of the season. Gives them a few more points heading into these playoffs. Here comes some green flag pit stops. Looks like it's Ty Dillon out in front. Joey Logano was about to go a lap down. Looks like he will drop a lap down after this cycle completes. There goes Harrison Burton and Kyle Busch, and now Daniel Suarez and Eric Almirola in, along with others. It looks like Suarez will have the advantage as they cycle through the pit stops. Lap traffic splitting up this front group. Seeing Bubba Wallace on the high side. 3 runner-up finishes at this racetrack, including the last 2 races. He is looking for that victory, and he needs it desperately if he wants to get into these playoffs. He's going to try to hang with this pack, but it looks like he has fallen off from that pack due to the lap traffic. We're seeing Noah Gragson making a move to the front in the 62 Beard Motorsports machine, and he is going to claim the 2nd stage. Great run for him as we see Kyle Busch, Harrison Burton, Ty Dillon, and Eric Almirola round out the top 5 in this one. So Gragson out in front. He was running well in the Xfinity race on Friday, but unfortunately got taken out in a late accident. Ty Gibbs finished 7th in that race, and as we mentioned, Kurt Busch has withdrawn his medical waiver he has decided that he's probably not going to be ready in time for the playoffs to come back from his injury, so he is not going to make himself a playoff spot that he's probably not going to have. So now 2 open spots, which will include at least 1 driver on points, which means Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr. still definitely racing, even though they're technically both in at the moment. But if a new winner happens, one of those drivers gets bumped. Ryan Blaney still trying to hang on. He's got damage, but Truex Jr. has not been able to take advantage of getting stage points here, which is going to be a hard time for maintaining that gap. And here's trouble here in turn 1. Kyle Busch turns, Alex Bowman and Denny Hamlin makes contact, and now big hits all around. Alex Bowman on his side and Martin Truex Jr. involved. The 19 car is driving away, but a big hit for the 48 car. Looks like he's going to be done, along with several others, but now that's a big problem for Truex. He had to try to keep that gap with Blaney, and if he has trouble maintaining speed, that's going to be a huge issue. We're seeing Eric Almirola out in front. He just announced this weekend that he is not going to retire. He's coming back on a multi-year extension to Stewart-Haas Racing. Also coming back to his team is Daniel Suarez. He'll be back at Trackhouse for 2023, a 1-year contract extension, and he is just barely trying to hang on. He was doing well earlier on, and it looks like he's having trouble keeping up with the draft. And now we've got a 3-car breakaway. It is Austin Cindric out in front, as well as Eric Almirola and Ty Gibbs. If those 3 stay up there, the best case scenario for Truex Jr. is for Almirola to not win. Either Cindric or Gibbs needs to win. Cindric's already won the 500. Ty Gibbs is not eligible for the playoffs. We're seeing the second group. They're having trouble keeping organized to try to go up and challenge. We've got a couple drivers down pit lane. Ty Dillon and Michael McDowell. Looks like there might be fuel issues. However, they are going to keep going up at the front. Looks like they were right on their window, that last caution flag, but looks like the leaders are going to try to stretch it. They've got lap traffic side by side, Blaney and Bell. So now the 3 drivers out in front are really getting held up. That pack is coming from behind. Will someone be able to challenge? Almirola finds the hole on the inside. He's going to try to slip through. He's gotten by. Will anyone on the draft have the advantage to catch up to him? Blaney goes down and blocks the 45. He probably would have preferred if Cindric had been able to get by. However, it looks like Blaney, by way of Truex Jr. not scoring any stage points, is going to get in along with another Ford driver who was outside looking in for a victory, and Almirola is going to win his way in at Daytona. What a wild way to finish that one off. Almirola able to claim victory. Cindric and Gibbs still second and third, but look at how many people entered the fray there. Gregson, Kyle Busch, William Byron. They came within a second of grabbing victory there. And ultimately, all of them would have been fine. It was Almirola that was Truex Jr.'s worst nightmare there in terms of his playoff hopes. Both the RCR cars finished inside the top 10. Kyle Larson comes home in 8th. Eric Jones in 10th. And there's Truex Jr. 11th. And only 9 points ahead of Blaney. And after Truex didn't get any stage points, it looks like Truex is going to get bumped from the playoffs. And that is a major disappointment. Truex, the 2017 champion, finished second in 3 of the past 4 years. He's not going to make the playoffs at all. The best he can finish in the points is 17th. Hand it to Blaney, though. 8 laps down, but he stays on the racetrack, and with other cars crashing out, he is able to grab those points. Every single one of them mattered. He was able to keep himself out there and grab a 20th place finish. And you obviously saw the names of those guys that needed a victory and crashed out. Chris Buescher had a chance. Todd Gilliland scored some stage points. Add in Justin Haley and Brad Keselowski dropping out in the first accident. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoyed the race, and we will see you all next time.